you saying to me that trust in the brand name is a critical, important thing of really feeding your dog? Trust and who actually represents that brand.
Exactly. Exactly. 100%. I agree with this. Trust, openness, ability to communicate, ability and willingness to share information is what pet parents should look for to a brand of pet food because it's food. You want to know everything that you put into your dog's body or your cat's body the same way that you want to know everything that you put into your own body.
Well, that's critically important. Now, in that sense, there's lots of claims outside there on various brands and famous brands regarding joint care and skin health and things like that. What, in your opinion, would be the truth regarding, because now we're talking about the quality of ingredients, respect and trust of those products. Those ingredients are what they say they are. What critical role then, if there is a quality ingredient, play health, joint care, and skin care?
So remember Marcel the Bullet's story. It is almost a need from people to believe in Marcel the Bullet. And in that example, it's very important to broaden your one's view on joint care, on skin health, and family. Everything in pet nutrition that you want to achieve is multifactorial. It's never one thing that's going to make or break a particular parameter. So if you want to support your pets with nutrition when it comes to joint health, it's not only adding glucosamine and chondroitin, which is going to make the difference. These are two supplements that are very important because they are the building blocks of cartilage. So they are essentially little pieces of cartilage that by feeding your dog or your cat, you will give more chances to your pets to rebuild their own cartilage form. Okay. But again, if the baseline is wrong, if the balance of omega-3s and omega-6 is wrong, for instance, if the food is very pro-inflammatory or pro-oxidative, then it's going to be a problem. So you need to work at different levels, have a multifaceted approach to tackle these kind of problems. For me, what is very important is the level of antioxidants in the food from multiple origins, the level of anti-inflammatory compound, and of course, if you add glucosamine, chondroitin, blue lip mussels, there's a lot of different supplements that do work for joint support. It makes difference as well. But collectively, all these parameters play a very important role, the synergistic role. 1 + 1 + 1 equals 5, 6, 10.
As in humans, all illnesses start with the inflammatory process. And these days, each and every dog or many dogs are on arthritis care, which we do have a product for. And they get cancer, which is an inflammatory process, and even diabetes. If EcoHealth works with Amigo and your brand and you as an animal scientist, I need to educate and I need to explain the truth to my customers and my listeners by saying to them the food that we develop needs to reduce the inflammatory process when you feed your child, because your dog is part of your family. How do you educate a person about the inflammatory process? We agreed upon famous brands, we need it. There is an inflammatory process in the dog's intestines by eating certain foods. What is important for people to know about this matter?
The first thing that's important to know and understand and acknowledge is that eating as such is pro-inflammatory. So eating increases the level of inflammation. So it's a normal process for the dog's or cat's body to try to combat this inflammation. And all we can do as nutritionists is to support that anti-inflammatory or inflammation resolution process. Because in the past, it was believed that inflammation was set up by certain circumstances or certain food or certain ingredients, and then it would disappear naturally. In fact, the setup of or the set out of inflammation is a process that is triggered by the dog metabolism, and the resolution of inflammation is also a process that is triggered. So inflammation is triggered for different reasons. Inflammation is resolved once the immune system has done its work in terms of repairing the damages locally or more globally for the dog's metabolism. So what we can do as nutritionists is make sure that we have compounds in the food, ingredients in the food that contribute to an overall supply of anti-inflammatory and antioxidative substances to the dog metabolism to allow the dog's body and system and the immune system both to do its job. I'm talking about dogs, but it's true for dogs and cats, for all pets and most animals. Nature is a wonderful tool. The dogs and the cats are equipped with an immune system that is very high performance kind of system. It is autonomous. It is not a conscious process, and it's up to the handyman, the maintenance team in a plant or in an office that fixes everything at night, during the day, whenever it breaks, or just maintains, changes seals, changes gaskets, changes filters whenever it's needed. But if I can use this image, so it is a lot more effective to work this way and promote a healthy and stable level of activity of the immune system by using certain ingredients. So the choice of ingredient is very important.
And it's also important to allow the intestines to rest, because many people are just allow their dogs to eat, their cats to eat continuously, produce insulin, which produce diabetes, and the intestines does not rest. It's like humans, they need to eat the whole time.
It's true.
And it's so dangerous in the case of dogs and cats. They need to eat maybe once, twice a day, maybe twice, maybe once a day properly. But hunger plays an important role in the maintenance of a little bit of underling in the maintenance of the intestines of an animal.
That's right. And I think from an evolutionary perspective, about 10,000 years ago, you weren't eating 3 meals a day, and dog weren't eating 3 meals a day either. We are designed to fast for most of the time, actually.
18 hours a day, most of the time, all of us, all what single stomach animals,
Yep.
or when
Monogastric.
monogastric animals, we need to fast them almost 18 hours a day.
That's right.
That is in our best interest. It's also in the best interest of your pets.
Yes. And now psychologically, most people, it's not easy. And they transfer emotions to their pets as well. And people like to see their pets like a pet, like we say in South Africa, right? Yeah. So it's more difficult to convince them to put them on a diet than to feed them an extra couple of treats every day. But yeah, this is very important to not overfeed the pets.
I was considering important. If you don't want it to be diabetic and pre-diabetic, and you don't want them to get arthritis, and you don't want and joint issues, and you don't want them to get cancer, because this is the cause of the cancer or the illnesses. What's the future of pet nutrition?
According to analysts who analyze the marketing trends, the future of pet nutrition is in a trend that is called humanization. In other words, people more and more all over the world consider pets as members of the family, as their children, as their friends, their furry friends, their furry children, we call them. Therefore, they apply what they think is good for them, should be good for them as humans, must be good for the pets as members of the family. So people want to see all over the world, pet parents want to see in pet food items that they consider as good for humans.
Holistically, natural stuff. As 10,000.
Apto, premium, exclusive. No, again, I'll use the example of protein. There's a trend which is exotic protein. The typical proteins that you find in pet food are farm animals, chicken, pigs, and cattle. And there is a big trend for a search for exotic proteins for game. We use ostrich or lots. This is a big trend.
Can us and you as a producer and you with your own brand name Amigo that we also sell, and we're proud of selling your products as well, we and proud to associate ourselves with you as an animal scientist. Can we achieve these goals for the modern man who consider his pets, his children, as a family member? That's a goal, and we need to state that. Can we consider that with legislation and what we need to do in our pig food? Because that's what EcoHealth wants and strives to.
Definitely, definitely. I think it's very important to realize that this is feasible. And my view and our view as a company is that we want to cater for different markets in terms of the pet food segmentation. But all the different brands and all the different products that we are offering, when they cover for, let's say, super premium segments, or when they cover for an economy segment, we want to have the same logic. First of all, we want to make each and every product that we sell in terms of pet food with a high standard in terms of quality, and that does not differ whether we're talking about super premium or economy, because the standard, the consistency, and the attention that is put into making this food must be equal. Okay, that's a guarantee. The second thing that is important is for all the different options that we offer, they are adapted to budget for Mr. A, and it's Mr. B and Mr. C who cannot spend the same amount of money every month on pet food. Each of these options, we want them to be the best value for money that that amount of money can afford. And by value, we don't mean rands, we mean nutrition. So the best nutrition for 500 rands, or the best nutrition for 1,000 rands, or the best nutrition for 1,500 guns, let's say. So what is it that we can do to maximize what we get for a certain amount of money is really what drives us.
EcoHealth have developed an animal shake, which is an additive that we put over our dog food with all the minerals added to that so that animals can have all that they need. It's important for me, and that's why we associate with Amigo and with you, Romain, that we have holistically, naturally, the best possible food with everything that you had and that you did say on the mark. Can I conclude by saying we are proud to associate with Amigo and with Bullies and with you, Romain. What is your surname again?
Trousset. Trousset. Thank you very much. I really appreciate, and the pride is shared, the definitely. It's been amazing for me to discover EcoHealth and your mantra and your business ethics, and which direction you want to drive when it comes to pet nutrition, and I definitely see a lot of common values, and
Thank you so much.